Alright, hello, it's Demon coming back possibly for either the second to last or third to last Mass Effect 1 episode. So, where we left off previously, you guys, I said I was going to stop it at this choice. So now we're going to tell Captain Anderson we are ready and we're going to get the hell out of the Citadel.
Let's do it.
I'll take care of the lockdown. You get down to the Normandy and tell Joker to stand by.
Alright. God damn it, squad mates. So let's get it started. Let's get it going. So we gotta go all the way back to the Normandy, get inside of it, and that is when it will finally allow us to end the game. So, oh no, yeah, we gotta go back to the ward section. We gotta go to CSEC. I actually wish they would have put a fast travel near, well, inside where your ship's actually docked at. I find it really funny that they didn't add one. Like, you got to go to CSEC, get on an elevator to just get back to the Normandy. That's kind of what I like about Mass Effect 2 a little bit more. They kind of switched that.
Is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Which are a lot of side missions to do in Mass Effect 1. I mean, you guys pretty much can get access to just about anything for it. Because there are other achievements you can unlock while playing Mass Effect 1. Some of them are basically, if you play with the same characters most of the time throughout the game, it'll give you an achievement near the end that basically tells you when you've reached it. As I said, I usually don't do a lot of the side missions and stuff. I don't know, I just don't feel like doing them. It just feels like there's a little too much, and I just don't have the time to want to do it. Ooh, let's inspect the Normandy hull. Although it's really goddamn glitchy. I do remember that pretty matter-of-factly. I remember this being an issue. Because it tells you that's where you got to interact with it at to inspect it. But it's really glitchy in how you do it, but we did get it. That's good. It just gives you an extra few experience and stuff, so it's nice to do. Right. So that should let us do this.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in...
That audio went to hell in a handbasket.
Anderson?
Best action sequence ever.
I didn't set...
It'd be nice if that's actually what happened when you tried to punch somebody. You just get this action music playing, just one punch, knockout.
Let's go. Get us out of here, Joker. Now.
Another thing I never understood is, like, when you're leaving there, I figured there'd be, like, warnings going off through the council, because it seems rather strange that Udina has the control of being able to either allow you to leave or not to allow you to leave. It's really weird in the fact that he has the sole power. You figure that maybe the council would have more control over that than anybody, so it's kind of strange that that occurs. And now I think we can talk to everyone last time.
Damn it, no sign of pursuit? I was hoping the council would send some ships after us. I was looking forward to putting the Normandy through her paces. Figured I'd get to see what this ship can really do.
Saren's still out there. Maybe we'll get a chance to play hide and seek with Saren.
You know, it doesn't seem like much fun when you say it, Commander. So you need something?
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah, but the same thing Joker said. It's like, I feel like you would make the assumption that if you're not allowed to leave, that the council would actually go after you for it. Now, I'm not too sure how the game plays out. I don't know if maybe the council secretly does agree with you in trying to investigate this further, but you figure, like, if you're in Citadel space, you're considered an outlaw at this point. You figure they'd be sending somebody after you. They know where you're going. Like, there's nobody even heading there. No other Spectres are heading to stop you before you reach the Mu Relay or anything.
Anything you need, Commander?
I think we could talk with them a little bit more now
Just
too,
trying to get
though.
a sense
So let's
of
get an
where
idea
Crew's
about
at.
it.
Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now.
If not, I'll just
We'll
skip.
have time for personal debate.
What's your opinion on the last?
Killing Saren's... I'm sure Dr. DeSoto's...
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk
I
later.
like that.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. I wasn't sure if there's any extra dialogue that gets brought in. The dialogue is not here mainly because we haven't done anything. So that's the only thing I wanted to double check on. So let's head back up here and we can finally begin going to the dreaded place
Message
called
coming in.
Ilos.
Patching it through.
After Admiral Hackett talks to us.
Commander, Miss Al-Jalani's story on you just aired. She shouldn't have ambushed you like that, but you handled it pretty well.
We had differences of opinion, sir. I hope she at least believed my sincerity.
You handled yourself pretty well, Commander. She came across like a raving idiot. Just wanted to let you know what the response was back home. I won't keep you any longer. Fifth Fleet out.
Alright. So this is actually where it comes into play. You can just head straight to Ilos. I did forget about that, so I kept thinking they didn't let you do any more missions. So as you guys sit there and see, you can do any of the other missions available to you, like if you go to Pinnacle Station and the such, you can do them. As I said before, I'm not really in the mood to try to do Pinnacle Station. I find it to be rather boring. It is a nice little DLC if you haven't played it before, but the moment you play it once or twice, you kind of get sick of it. The other thing is I just want to get this started so we can head straight here. So let's get it going. As I said before, I will be cutting the gotta be careful with what I say. Yeah, I love fumbling over your own words. I'm probably gonna cut out that scene, so we're gonna get to that point at some point whenever we get to it. Which I think it should be coming up right about.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Oh.
Commander, I'm glad you were in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics have hit a medical research station with a psychotropic drug. The drugs have temporarily driven researchers crazy, and the biotics are effectively using them as human shields.
I'll do everything within my power to bring those researchers back safely, Admiral.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now. Fifth Fleet out.
Well, that's the only thing that really sucks is you can go ahead and do the mission, I guess. Yeah. Let's just get it started. I'm not going to hold this back any longer. I think most people want to see Ilos. We want to reach the end of this, so... They do give you a brief description and shows you kind of what Ilos looks like. So it says, in the golden age of the Protheans, Ilos was a verdant world, dotted with spires and arches of magnificent cities. Even casual observations show this is no longer the case. Ilos has been devastated by means unknown. Its entire surface changed to the color of rust. The atmosphere shows high levels of oxygen. Wildfires presumably ignited by lightning strikes can be seen burning on the dark side. This indicates that most, if not all, respirating animal life forms have died off. Surface gravity is a comfortable 1.17 standard Gs. In the case of Ilos, I don't know why they have it play out this way. I don't know why there is no species that's actually surviving on the planet itself. It's actually quite weird. Mainly because, like, Ilos is... I guess it's because you can count it as, like, maybe a metropolitan world. There's a lot of cities on the planet, but many of the species themselves seem to have died off as time went on. So it's like, did the Protheans just sit there and turn this place into more city-based places in comparison to more letting like the plants and everything grow? But as far as you can sit there and see is, even through the picture, the plants have pretty much overgrown most of the cityscape, so the cities have become more and more ruined as time has gone on, but now all of a sudden you have to go in here and fight through it. And as I said before, there's going to be a bit of an issue with the view mode, so I'm going to have to retype in a console command for that to happen. And this is the scene that I said that I'm going to be skipping. So from your guys' perspective, this scene is going to stop at this point. I'm not going to get into any more discussion. I'm not going to show it off or anything. Mass Effect 2 and 3, theoretically, you can get away with it a bit more, mainly because in those games, we're going to be switching it up after this. I just want to tell the story from this up to this point. So in Mass Effect 2 and 3, you guys will be seeing what's going to go on. So in the case of this, I can let it slide at this point because They do show nudity at this scene, and I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube for anything with it, so as far as I'm concerned, you guys, this will be where it lets off. When you guys come back, you guys will be seeing us more than likely heading back to basically getting to Ilos, so you guys will be seeing us attack there, so see you guys then. Alright, hello, you guys are back. You missed a great scene. I tried skip butting it probably a dozen times, and the bastards don't let me skip, so you guys are gonna have fun watching nothing. I wonder if the way just include the audio with just me. I was thinking about that when I did. I was like, I wonder if I could just include the audio with me just pounding the spacebar button. But I'm not. Alright, so we're getting ready to do it. I love the Normandian, I love that street color. Black, white,
Commander?
red. Perfect.
We've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Well, stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something closer.
There is nowhere closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? We'll never get in close enough for a drop.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone.
There is no other landing zone.
The descent angle's too steep. It's our only option.
It's not an option. It's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker,
I can do it.
gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
Alright, so as I said before, we're going to be bringing Caden and Rex with us. Basically, I think if I remember right, this is the last time you can pick any of your squad mates, so at this point, the people you're running with are probably the guys you've been either playing with for most of the game, or at least up to Vermeer, because as I said before, usually with the playstyle I have, having both humans with me makes more sense, because one is focused solely on combat, just like myself, while Caden is focused on the tech and the biotics, so he brings the other factors in. So in the case of this, we're going to be bringing Caden and Rex. I don't really feel like bringing Tali with us. Liaris focused solely on biotics, she's not useful enough. Garrus, he does bring combat, but I don't really need his tech with us. Well, I guess I could. Nah, well... It's really a question of which one do you think has the most value. I don't know, you know what, let's change it up. I usually always bring Rex with me when I do this mission. Let's bring Garrus for once. Let's change up. I don't think I really need to care too much about biotics. Caden brings that enough. Garrus still brings in combat, and we get extra into tech, so let's just bring him along this time around. Let's do something different. Now, this is where you will start seeing what I was talking about before with the dark figures coming back. So I have to go into console commands to fix it, and it will happen in 3, 2, 1. Booyah. And I think...
You two, keep moving inside.
I think Saren turns into it as soon as he walks through the entrance, and it's hilarious to watch. Oh god. Black figures. See, in the case of that, that'd be hilarious if I actually knew how to do that. Alright, so... This...
We have to get inside this bunker before Saren finds the conduit. There's no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found a way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We'll have to find some way to get it up and running again.
Alright, so we're actually gonna go ahead and do it. I think it's view mode, if I remember right, unlit. Again, it's gonna look rather weird with the word unlit put in there. I forget where we have to get, I forget which point in the game where I can shut this off. We'll just have to keep playing it on once we get to that point. Although it does make the textures look rather weird for this. Not everything, I think. Some of it still looks pretty neat, and I kind of like the color change to it. So we're going to basically have to fight through a lot of geth to reach the point where we need to. There's going to be some armatures on our left. As soon as I kill these guys off, we're going to deal with them. I usually always try to kill the weaker geth first. I usually recommend that. That just gets rid of all the extra gunfire that comes in play. Once they're all dead, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. So these will be the armatures over here to our left. Again, if we want to, we can cheat the system out a little bit. Why the hell is there a grenade randomly floating in the sky? That's weird. So we can cheat. Use this to our advantage. The AI doesn't realize that you can do this. So, play the game like you got to. I've noticed that even with newer games, I noticed they still haven't been able to fix this problem where I can just cheat and do this. And good. Squad mate shot the other one to death, let us kill that one, so everybody should just revive right now. The word is very strong. Oh no, they won't revive. Let's just use, where is it? Unity.
Just a scratch.
We'll also do that because I think it should heal Garrus of his poison. Or may not, I don't know. I also never did figure that out. This game has been a little glitchy. I don't know if it's just the PC version that causes it, or if it's still prevalent on Xbox 360. It's been a long time since I played the console version of this. Ever since I bought the PC version, it's been hard to play the console version. Especially the fact that it doesn't run as smooth. There is the problem with the AMD graphics card, I believe, causing the glitchy shadow glitch that you guys are seeing. I have been considering maybe upgrading to a better graphics card for a while. My RX 580 does pretty good. I do like it, but there's always room for improvement for when it comes to computer parts. The other one I was considering was maybe getting a 2070, but at least at this time it's like a little over $500 even on Amazon. You can probably find better deals online for some of them. But as far as I was concerned, I was like, maybe I shouldn't spend money on a graphics card. I could probably get, I mean, I haven't had this RX 580 for that long. The other thing is, some of my friends have been looking maybe to getting computers of their own. So the other thing I've been considering is maybe I could just hold on to it and sell to them as a part at some point. That way they get access to a half decent part. I can't guarantee that it's, going to remain functioning whenever I try to get rid of it, but I think they can at least appreciate the fact that they might get a decent graphics card and they ain't got to spend, a couple $100 to get the part. As I think even for myself, I think it cost, I got it like a year ago. It was back when it was a little bit more expensive, so I think I ended up spending up to like maybe $230, $250. I forget how much I spent on it. Now I think they down the price to just about $200. So you can actually get this graphics card for like pretty damn cheap. It doesn't play 4K that well, doesn't play 2K that well, but you can get 1080p and get pretty play pretty steadily. That's usually why I recommend playing it. That's the only reason why I would recommend it. If you're not looking to play in the higher display resolution settings, 1080p runs wonders with this. That's what I like about this one. I can play most of my games at 1080p, get over 60 frames. You might have to dumb down the graphics a little bit. That's really the only problem I ever have with it. It's like, if I play PUBG or something with my computer, I do get over 60 frames, but I don't have the setting. I don't have all the settings on like the ultramost settings. Most of any of the console-based games, you can play like the highest settings, and you'll get well over 60. If it's strictly a PC game, I can't guarantee you that though. It's like when I have Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's a console-based game, but the level of detail for that game is unimaginable, so it's hard to keep that frame rate. Also, in the case of this, we're actually going to do a little bit of a cheatsy thing. We're going to go ahead and activate the armatures that are deactivated in this. They're useful to have on because immediately as soon as you revive them, they come up and they start shooting everything for you. So if you have been saving up your on-they gel, this is a good time to use it because they'll come out, they won't attack you, and they'll kill most of the guests for you. So if you're like in this giant rush, you can use it. What the hell is that? And they'll just stick around, they'll kill anything for you, you ain't gonna do anything. I think it's really helpful with the higher difficulty modes because mainly what will happen is they can kill everything for you. Alright, So the next thing we gotta do is come up here. There should be a security panel. This is when I will be shutting up because it's actually pretty good information to learn from. Is this?
Come on, Saren's already got a head start. We have to go find him before he reaches the conduit.
Unless he's already found it, then we're just walking into a trap.
That's a chance we'll have to take. Hold on. Something's happening.
Too late. Unable to... Invading fleets. No escape.
Sounds like some kind of message, but I don't recognize the language.
It's probably in Prothean. This recording must be 50,000 years old. No wonder we can't understand it.
The message is all broken up, but I recognize some of the words. It's a warning against the Reaper invasion.
Incredible. The cipher must have transferred an understanding of the Prothean language into your mind.
Not safe. Seek refuge. Inside the archives.
What's it saying? Can you make out anything useful?
Fought Reapers. The Citadel. Overwhelmed. Only hope. Act of desperation. The Conduit. All is lost.
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help. We should go.
Cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped.
I do like it when you finally come to Hylos. I love how they expand on the experience you're learning from, because I love that, just like how you have that damaged control panel there where it sits there and gives you that information for the holo. It's crazy just sitting here and all that. It's like you don't know what to expect. When the later Mass Effects come out, you don't know where the story's gonna go. You don't know if like the Reapers are actually gonna be coming, if you're gonna be able to stop them at this point, how they're gonna work it. Instead, you guys basically learn that you get an idea of what the Protheans thought whenever the invasion starts. Also, I'm not too sure why they have the person talking through the that holo. It goes from somebody we are going to hear later from, and then it switches to somebody who sounds like another, I don't know, maybe a research lead or maybe another leader of their military comes into play. Like I don't know why they have that.
We take the vehicle into the creepy.
I don't get why they have that subtle change there. Also, I can't imagine doing this where you just run through.
Some kind of trap or ambush for us. They must have been in too much of a hurry.
Well, we just haven't run into it yet.
As you guys can see, you can see they've detailed this place pretty good. They will discuss a little bit what those blue things on the walls are as soon as we get down here. I might actually stop just so they can talk, because what ends up happening is if you drive too fast, they actually quit their dialogue, which kind of sucks. So we'll probably actually stop so you guys can listen to it.
What are all those things on the wall? Some kind of containers?
They look like stasis pods. The Protheans probably try to keep themselves alive through cryogenic freezing. Something must have gone wrong, though. This bunker became their tomb. The pods are dead, and so is anyone inside.
All of them? There must be hundreds of those pods. What was Saren expecting to find here? There's nothing left but corpses.
Bam. If you know they're there, it's so much funny just to be able to kill them. I know that first part they don't put anybody there, but I know on this part. And I do agree, it's like you sit there and see all these cryopods, it's just like, you get access, if their bones and stuff are still there, you find the dead of the Prothean. It's like, this will probably be like one of the first times where you actually get access to what the Protheans look like, maybe their skeletal structure. The other thing is it's been 50,000 years, so who knows what's even inside if any part of them survived. But you actually do learn a little bit more about why the pods are all like this, but it takes us coming all the way to this point to learn. So sit there and see that it's shield up, we don't know what to do with it.
What's happening?
If we look behind us,
It's a trap. Saren must have set an ambush.
I don't think Saren's behind this.
so we are forced to get out, and what ends up happening is we take this little passageway because it's the only one we can go to. There's nothing else around here that we can use. We basically head over here and there's an elevator. I like how they make it look all overrun and stuff, and how some of the things are still functioning. I just love seeing like the roots, the grass and stuff, the trees and stuff they put in, the vines.
What do you think we're gonna find?
It does give a little bit of a detail that this has been a city that has been left to the wilderness to just overtake it again. So we find more cryopods located inside of here, but more importantly we find something called Vigil, and we will learn what he is now.
You are not Prothean, but you are not machine either. This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
It looks like some kind of VI program. Pretty badly damaged.
I do not sense the taint of indoctrination upon any of you. Unlike the other that passed recently. Perhaps there is still hope.
Wait a minute, how come I can understand you? Why aren't you speaking the Prothean language?
I have been monitoring your communications since you arrived at this facility. I have translated my output into a format you will comprehend. My name is Vigil. You are safe here for the moment, but that is likely to change. Soon, nowhere will be safe.
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence program?
I am an advanced non-organic analysis system, with personality imprints from Kesad Aishan, Chief Overseer of the Ilos Research Facility.
Why did you bring me here?
You must break a cycle that has continued for millions of years. But to stop it, you must understand, or you will make the same mistakes we did. The Citadel is the heart of your civilization and the seat of government, as it was with us, and as it has been with every civilization that came before us. But the Citadel is a trap. The station is actually an enormous mass relay, one that links to dark space, the empty void beyond the galaxy's horizon. When the Citadel relay is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
How come nobody ever noticed the Citadel was an inactive mass relay?
The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden. That is why they created a species of seemingly benign organic caretakers. The Keepers maintain the station's most basic functions. They enable any species that discovers the Citadel to use it without fully understanding the technology. Reliance on the Keepers ensures no other species will ever discover the Citadel's true nature. Not until the relay is activated and the Reapers invade.
How do the Reapers survive out in dark space?
We have only theories. The researchers here came to believe the Reapers enter prolonged states of inactivity to conserve energy. This allows them to survive the thousands and thousands of years it takes for organic civilization to rebuild itself. But in this state, they are vulnerable. By retreating beyond the edges of the galaxy, they ensure no one will accidentally discover them. They keep their existence hidden until the Citadel relay is activated.
Reapers can wipe out the Council and the entire Citadel fleet in a single surprise attack.
That was our fate. Our leaders were dead before we even realized we were under attack. The Reapers seized control of the Citadel, and through it, the mass relays. Communication and transportation across our empire were crippled. Each star system was isolated, cut off from the others. Easy prey for the Reaper fleets. Over the next decades, the Reapers systematically obliterated our people. World by world, system by system, they methodically wiped us out.
Some of you must have managed to survive.
Through the Citadel, the Reapers had access to all our records, maps, census data. Information is power, and they knew everything about us. Their fleets advanced across every settled region of the galaxy. Some worlds were utterly destroyed. Others were conquered, their populations enslaved. These indoctrinated servants became sleeper agents under Reaper control. Taken in as refugees by other Protheans, they betrayed them to the machines. Within a few centuries, the Reapers had killed or enslaved every Prothean in the galaxy. They were relentless, brutal, and absolutely thorough.
I don't understand. Where did the Reapers go after they conquered your people?
Our worlds were stripped bare, harvested by the indoctrinated slaves. Everything of value, all resources, all technology was taken. Certain that all advanced organic life had been extinguished, the Reapers retreated back through the Citadel relay into dark space, sealing it behind them. All evidence of the Reaper invasion had been wiped away. Only their indoctrinated slaves were left behind, abandoned. Mindless husks, no longer capable of independent thought, the indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure. The genocide of the Protheans was complete.
What do the Reapers get out of this? Why do they keep repeating this pattern of genocide over and over?
The Reapers are alien, unknowable. Perhaps they need slaves or resources. More likely they are driven by motives and goals organic beings cannot hope to comprehend. In the end, what does it matter? Your survival depends on stopping them, not in understanding them.
You said you brought me here for a reason. Tell me what I need to do.
The Conduit is the key. Before the Reapers attacked, we Protheans were on the cusp of unlocking the mysteries behind mass relay technology. Ilos was a top-secret facility. Here, researchers worked to create a small-scale version of a mass relay, one that linked directly to the Citadel, the hub of the relay network.
The Conduit's not a weapon. It's a backdoor onto the Citadel.
How did you manage to stay hidden?
All official records of our project were destroyed in the initial attack on the Citadel. While the Prothean Empire came crashing down, Ilos was spared. We severed all communication with the outside, and our facility went dark. The personnel retreated underground into these archives. To conserve resources, everyone was put into cryogenic stasis. I was programmed to monitor the facility and wake the staff when the danger had passed. But the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years passed, decades, centuries. The Reapers persisted, and my energy reserves were dwindling.
And that's where I don't understand. It says, but the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years past, decades, centuries. My only thing is like, how does he know that the Reapers were taking so long? Because in the case of this, it's just like, well, if the Reapers never came to Ilos, what is the problem with everybody just staying awake? I get like maybe there's a limited amount of supplies, but it's like most of you should have had access to something in the resemblance of food. Somebody should have put, like, you guys should have had something to gain access to.
You should have fought.
We were a few hundred against a galactic invasion fleet. Our only hope was to remain undetected. I began to disable the life support of non-essential personnel. First support staff, then security. One by one, their pods were shut down to conserve energy. Eventually, only the stasis pods of the top scientists remained active. Even these were in danger of failing when the Reapers finally retreated back through the Citadel relay.
There were hundreds of stasis pods out there. You just shut them down? You killed them?
You were programmed to protect them, not kill them.
This outcome was not completely unforeseen. My actions were a result of contingency programming entered on my creation.
I bet they didn't tell the non-essential staff about this contingency.
I saved key personnel. When the Reapers retreated, the top researchers were still alive. My actions are the only reason any hope remains. When the researchers woke, they realized the Prothean species was doomed. There were only a dozen individuals left, far too few to sustain a viable population. Yet they vowed to find some way to stop the Reapers from returning, a way to break the cycle forever, and they knew the Keepers were the key.
Aren't they under the influence of the Reapers?
The Keepers are controlled by the Citadel. Before each invasion, a signal is sent through the station compelling the Keepers to activate the Citadel relay. After decades of feverish study, the scientists discovered a way to alter this signal. Using the Conduit, they gained access to the Citadel and made the modifications. This time, when Sovereign sent the signal to the Citadel, the Keepers ignored it. The Reapers are trapped in dark space.
Saren can use the Conduit to bypass all the Citadel's external defenses.
Correct. And once inside, he can transfer control of the station to Sovereign. Sovereign will override the Citadel systems and manually open the relay, and the cycle of extinction will begin again.
Is there any way we can stop them?
There's a data file in my console. Take a copy when you go. When you reach the Citadel's master control unit, upload it to the station. It will corrupt the Citadel's security protocols and give you temporary control of the station. It might give you a chance against Sovereign.
Wait. Where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
Through the Conduit. Follow Saren. He will lead you to your destination.
So this is really the last chance you have to ask anything of Vigil at this point. If you do bring Liara with you, the only difference in dialogue is like, if let's say I just hit let's move, she will make mention that like she'll sit there and say this is your last chance to talk to anybody who has any knowledge of the Protheans and who can give you more information. So as far as I'm concerned, we will learn a little bit more about him, what he has to say into it, and then we're going to just start going.
If the Reapers are trapped in dark space, how did Sovereign get here?
It is logical to assume the Reapers would leave one of their own behind after each extinction. A sentinel to pave the way for their inevitable return. Like those in dark space, Sovereign probably spent most of the last 50,000 years in a state of hibernation. Periodically, it would wake to analyze the situation. Keeping its existence hidden, it would evaluate the state of galactic civilization. And when the time was right, it would signal the Citadel and usher in the next Reaper invasion. But this time the signal failed. The Keepers did not respond. Sovereign's allies were trapped in the void. Alone, it was forced to try and discover what had gone wrong.
Sovereign's the largest ship in the galaxy. Why all this secret? Why not just attack the Citadel?
Sovereign is not invincible. Revealing its true nature would have united the forces of every organic species against it. Even a Reaper couldn't survive such odds. But the Reapers are patient. They will not rush into the unknown. Sovereign could have been planning this for centuries, moving deliberately, gathering allies. Slowly, it has assembled the pieces of the puzzle, working through agents to keep itself hidden. Saren is the most visible pawn of the Reapers, but I doubt he was the first. Now Sovereign has grown bold. Whether from confidence or desperation, I cannot say. But it is determined to reopen the portal to dark space.
What about the beacon on Eden Prime? And the one on Vermeer? What were they for?
At our apex, the beacons spanned the breadth of our empire. We used them as a single galaxy-wide network to transmit data and communications rapidly from world to world. Virtually all the beacons were destroyed during the invasion. But once the Reapers were gone, the survivors here on Ilos decided to risk sending out a message. We knew it was unlikely there were other survivors, but if there were, we wanted them to know about Ilos. We wanted to give them hope, so a message was sent across the network.
You could have exposed yourself to the Reapers.
In truth, we didn't expect any of the beacons would still function, but we had to try. If there were survivors, we had to reach them. The message was meant for our own people. It was coded so only organic beings could interpret it. We still didn't understand the power of Reaper indoctrination. We never realized it could lead an agent of the machines, like Saren, to this world. But it has also led you here. So perhaps we did not fail after all.
So when the Reapers created the Citadel, they created the Keepers as well?
A more likely scenario is that the Keepers were one of the early harvested civilizations, perhaps the very first. Perhaps they responded well to indoctrination, or the Reapers simply bred them to be obedient. In any case, they were left behind to operate and maintain the Citadel. But the Keepers are no longer directly controlled by Sovereign or its ilk. They evolved so that they only respond to the signals emitted by the Citadel itself. When the Protheans altered the Citadel's signals, they broke Sovereign's hold over the Keepers. Now, they are completely harmless.
Sovereign must have realized organic races were difficult to control.
A likely hypothesis. The Keepers evolved in an unanticipated direction. Non-organic servants like the Geth would be more predictable.
What happened to the survivors from the Conduit project?
They used the Conduit to gain access to the Citadel, but the Conduit is only a prototype. The portal only links in one direction, so they were trapped on the station. I do not know what became of them then. It is unlikely they found any food or water on the station. I fear they suffered a slow, grim death. I only know they succeeded in their mission to seal the relay. Your presence here proves their sacrifice was not in vain.
Saren's got enough of a head start. Grab that data file and let's go.
The one you call Saren has not reached the Conduit. Not yet. There is still hope if you hurry.
And this is the point where, like, if you walk away, they are assistants, but he's the last thing for the Protheans. It's the last thing we can get information from. But this is what I love about, talking to Vigil there. He gives you so much information. So he basically informs you that Ilos was the last holdout. And what hurt him is the same thing that hurts every other species. It seems like there's a cycle going on. And the Protheans and humanity fell under the same trap. The Citadel is the seat of the main government. And it just makes me think it's really weird by the fact that they decide that. I don't know. I think in my opinion, if I found like something like the Citadel, I'd be massively impressed by it. But I don't think I'd put my seat of government there. It's like when I play Stellaris for Paradox. Usually, whenever I play it, I rarely switch Earth as my home world and make it something else. Like I'll make the oh shit. I'll usually like make ring worlds. I'll make metropolitan worlds. Hell, I'll use the sector outside of the what do you call it? The one relay network. I'll make that like my I'll take that whole system, put metropolitan worlds, put other worlds up there. I'll put a ring world, habitats, the whole 9 yards. I never switch my home system as being the main seat of my government. And it's because I believe that's where my government should be seated at. I don't think having it anywhere else is useful to me. It's kind of like the Alliance. Like, you can find a better planet than Earth, but it's your home world. You're going to protect it to your dying breath. It's going to be the seat of all your power. You're going to put everything you own there to make sure it stays alive. Now, we can just drive through this, I guess. Probably should just do that instead of fighting. But at least from what we learned from the Protheans, at least from Vigil, is we had survivors. They survived on Ilos. As power dwindled, he basically starts killing off the other non-essential personnel that was considered. The best researchers stayed alive. They sacrificed themselves to save future generations of other species. They understood that it's a cycle. There's going to be another galactic civilization that'll come into play. We learned that the Protheans had data on Mars, so they knew that humanity was there and that there was perhaps a little bit of potential for humanity to be at least a part of what would become the future galactic civilization that results out of it. So it's pretty interesting seeing it from that perspective. There's no way the Protheans knew of humanity, at least from what the game states it as, is like being if actually gaining access to any of that technology. But it's kind of hopeful to learn that, you know, they saw it as this. They knew a cycle that could happen, that they had a way of perhaps saving the next one that comes in. So the scientists took upon themselves to basically risk everything for the next group that came into play. And as you guys can see, they actually had made an actual relay.
Incredible. We don't have time to admire the view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't going to make it easy on us.
Here comes one of the best sequences. Oh yeah, here we go. There's Mass Effect 1. I love the fight scenes. You gotta love the galactic fleets.
Activate the defenses! Seal the station! Systems aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel! Evacuate the Council! Citadel Control! Citadel Control, do you copy?
And I do promise to change this view mode once we get off of this. The other thing I find hilarious is that when you talk to the council, they talked about how every mass relay was guarded by part of the fleet. Now my question is how the hell did they have no advance warning that there was a giant Geth fleet with Sovereign at its head coming straight there? Like, what the hell was that? That all of a sudden this fleet was coming in, and they're not even prepared for it. It's sad. It shows that the council did not heed the warning that you give them. It's hilarious. And they kind of deserve it as a result of it. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Nope, crap, can't do it yet. It's loading. Sorry, do it now.
Detected across all monitored systems.
We're fine. Good.
Please begin emergency.
Alright, so we should be fine now. It should go back to... Let me let you walk over here. He's here. Really? Bam. Alright, now we're back on the Citadel. We got a little bit of a fight we gotta put up here. We gotta fight Husks. I don't know why they put Husks in this situation here. I found it was kind of weird when I first played it. It's just like this is the only species you decided to turn into Husks or more humans. It's like, where the hell are the Turians? We have access to Turians, Solarians, sorry, we have access to everything. And you can't talk to Avina here. She will give you a little bit of basic information.
The Presidium is experiencing severe system malfunctions
She broken as hell.
across the entire level. All non-emergency personnel must evacuate immediately.
And she can give you a bit of a status report.
We have lost all primary power to the level. Environmental controls are not responding. Class 3 fires are burning in sectors 2, 3, 6, and 7. Civilian casualties are high. I am also detecting numerous unauthorized synthetic life forms throughout the station. They are believed to be hostile. Please approach with caution.
So you can't ask questions. You can ask about the council, Saren, the other survivors. So let's go ahead and just get a little bit of knowledge.
In accordance with standard emergency procedures, the council has been evacuated to the Destiny Ascension.
Where's Saren?
Former Spectre agent Saren Arturius is near the vicinity of the council chamber. A warrant has been issued for his arrest, though Citadel security is unable to respond at this time.
What about Captain Anderson and Ambassador Udina? What happened to them?
I have no information on the status of specific individuals. Once the current crisis has been resolved, a complete accounting of casualties and survivors will begin.
Come on! We need to stop Saren before it's too late!
Please begin emergency.
So at least from what Avina can tell us, we don't know what happened to Captain Anderson, we don't know what happened to Counselor Udina, Ambassador Udina. We don't find out until the end because we don't know what goes on. It's too chaotic. She's only an automated system. There's no way she knows what the hell's going on. As I said before, this is pretty much where I'm going to stop this recording one at. I think we're going to basically do one more, and then that's going to be the end of Mass Effect 1. I'm going to have a lot of raw footage I got to edit for this game, so this is actually going to be a fun one. I got to figure out how long most of these episodes are, and then maybe make 2-parters or something out of it. I know the goal for EU4 is usually like 30-minute episodes if I can. Sometimes it'll go over that, sometimes it'll go under that. It just depends on how long I did a recording session. As I said, basically what you guys are going to be seeing is this will be the second to last part now. From what we can learn is the council has evacuated the Citadel. They're no longer here. As you can see, the Citadel is just a burning goddamn mess. So this is pretty much the end of it. So let me go ahead and stop the recording. And of course guys, have a very wonderful day, and thank you ever so much for watching these videos. Thank you.